I have a feeling this is going to be a long ass video. But I guess we're going to find out together. Before going to ramble, I want to give a shout out, a thanks to Jonathan, who sent in a very generous paid request for me to watch and review, give my thoughts on this film. Thank you so much, Jonathan. Hope you enjoy this. If anyone wants to request any type of videos, a movie review, a re-review, a topic, a tier list, a ranking, video game playthrough, whatever the case may be, random thoughts, streams, commentaries, what have you, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal. Do have a Cash App as well. Links are down below in the info box, and we'll get to it as soon as I possibly can. So, again, PayPal, Cash App, links are down below if you wish to. I will do it as soon as possible, and thank you for your generosity for people out there. Thank you so much. Fuck this movie. Fuck this movie. This is the worst goddamn Transformers film I've ever seen in my life, and I don't know why I'm talking low. I think because I know I'm going to get louder. I know I'm going to get louder, but I gotta wait for it. If I start ADD-fueled rage, like this movie is, if ADD was a movie, this is that movie. Or they think you have ADD. Because it's over the place. It's going to be hard to know where to start. What's funny is, after I saw this film, because I had never seen this one before, this was the last Transformers film to see. Because I saw the animated one from the 80s, I saw that on home video. 2007 live action, the first one, saw in the theater. The second one, saw in the theater. The third one, I had enough of the theater going to Transformers for that, saw it online. The fourth one, I saw it online, and that was such a struggle to sit through. I said I give up. I give up on Transformer films. So I skipped this one. Apparently, a lot of people did, because this lost money. This lost, I think, over $100 million. Because these are films that normally would try to get close to $1 billion, or at least, 700 million. This got like 130 in the U.S. I mean, it barely did jack squat of anything in the U.S. That shows not only fatigue, but just it's a bad movie. It's a shitty fucking film with other shitty films before it that beats the audience into submission, which I'll get to that much later on. But this bombed. This film bombed. I know Michael Bay says he's not doing anymore. He announced that before this came out, but maybe he knew the writing was on the wall, and then they did Bumblebee, which I liked, Rise of the Beast, which I didn't like. But what's funny, I think I said Rise of the Beast, it's like I kind of miss Michael Bay. No, I don't, not with these movies. Get Michael Bay to do the action and get some other people to do the story. I mean, that's what you need. You really do. Sometimes there's these American films where you have like the Transporter 1 and 2, or like some other ones. You get like someone to do the action, and then you get someone else to do the dialogue. That's what's needed with this. Well, there's a shitload of things needed with this, including, I don't know, a taser, a thermometer to shove up my ass to look at my temperature and my rage while watching this bullshit, a Valium. I think a Valium up its fucking butthole would suffice. But I would rather watch Rise of the Beast, and the only reason I saw that was it was a request. But I don't like that film, but I would rather watch that than this one. And Transformers 1, that was another request I got. That was a surprise. Honestly, that's my favorite Transformers film. Why? For the reasons I said in the review. It's up on the channel. I don't want to go into 20 minutes as to reiterate why I like that film, but that film was done in by horrible, horrible advertising. That may seem like it was just a dumb kids comedy. And there's some stupid comedy, because I think Keegan Michael Key is awful as Bumblebee. He's the worst part of that. He's an awful Bumblebee in that. But the rest of it is actually pretty good, in my opinion. I don't know, 5 minutes in, I haven't talked about this movie. But before I go into that, when I got done watching this, I went on YouTube and I rewatched a review my friend Michael Teen did. Now, Michael Teen, he's on YouTube as the Choice Voice. 7 years ago, he did a review for this. And my comment is still under there from 7 years ago. And I reread my comment after watching his review again. And I wrote, I'm watching your video. It seems like you have a defeated tone. I can see why. If you watch this film as a Transformers fan, you would be fucking defeated too. Your soul, your body, your mind, your spirit, and your nutsack would be defeated. Defeated and then some. Why would your nutsack be defeated? Because you don't even want to fuck anyone after watching this film. You just want to go outside and take a walk down the pasture. Take a walk on the wild side and just watch afar as a voyeur. Because you don't even want to fuck or suck or whatever your preference. You don't want to do anything. But just shake your head of the cobwebs that this film created in your fucking membranes of your cells in your brain. And yes, it's that bad of a movie. This was a god-awful fucking film. It's the lowest rated Transformers film on IMDb, 5.2. I think that's way too damn high. It should be 2.5. This was god-awful. I don't even know where to start with this. Let's get on focus. Focus. Because this movie didn't have any focus. That's one of the things that makes it's technically a simple plot, but they overcomplicate the fuck out of it. And the thing is with these Michael Bay Transformer films, especially after the first film, Revenge of the Fallen, Dark of the Moon, Age of Extinction, this movie, they have the same problem of being over long, at 2.5 hours long, over bloated, nonsensical, adding so much shit in the kitchen sink, throwing so much at the wall to see what will stay on, that your mind almost gives up in just trying to even follow it. Action scenes that, while I love action is my favorite genre, they go on for way too damn long, and to the point of being repetitive, boring. The designs of the Transformer, all the Transformers, Autobots, Decepticons, are so ugly that at times you can't tell who the hell is fighting who. And then because you're bombarded with this shit, you almost give up and trying to pay attention to what the fuck is going on. I don't think a Transformers film should be overcomplicated to the point of not understand what the hell's happening. But I swear in this film, I'm like, wait, so it's this? Oh, wait, there's that? Now we're doing this? Now we're over here? This film felt like 85 ideas trying to battle itself to see what comes up on top. And it gave me a fucking migraine. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say it was one of the worst films of all time. I have a list on Letterboxd, 100 worst films. It wouldn't be on there because I've seen hundreds of bad films. I'm just saying, and I looked at the writers of this film, and it's starting to make sense because Art Marcum and Matt Holloway are two of the three writers, and the two are a team. Now, one of the early works was Iron Man, but here's the catch with that. You know who else worked on Iron Man as writing? The team that wrote Children of Men. So yeah, I think that helped with these guys writing, as well as having Jon Favreau direct, because he's a writer. He wrote Swingers, and he's very talented. So more than likely, I'm sure Jon Favreau looked at the Children of Men guys and goes, I'm going to listen to you guys more than these fuckers' ideas. Because after that, like, they did this film. They did Men in Black International. They did Uncharted. They did Craven the Hunter. I love how people keep getting worked for doing shit jobs. This film didn't do well. Men in Black International didn't do well. Uncharted, I guess, did well. I guess. And Craven the Hunter didn't do well. And they'll probably do another fucking job. Now, I mean, the job they must be good at is sucking dick. Because that's the only reason I can understand is why they keep getting jobs. I would think just watching Transformers last night and go, you wrote that? I will never hire you for anything. I will not hire you to write my fucking grocery list. Let alone a fucking movie. But he did a Men in Black, an Uncharted, and a Craven the Hunter movie. And all of those movies sucked fucking assholes and elbows. And anything in between body-wise. Piece of shit writers. And it's frustrating because I know people who are writers. And I goddamn guarantee you that they would be better and they could have written a better script than what the hell I saw in this movie. I could find people that write blindfolded that would write better scripts than the people that wrote this movie. I go back to my friend Michael Keane, and I'm watching his review, and he's just so defeated and he's so depressed, and I don't blame him. And I'm not even the hardcore Transformers fan. I didn't watch much of the show growing up. I saw snippets and bits and pieces. Enough to get the gist of it. I had some of the toys. It seemed fun. I did not like the 80s movie because it killed everybody. I'm like, the ones I'm interested in watching, like Optimus Prime, they fucking die because they want new toys. So get the old toys out of there to get the new toys up front. But I didn't give a fuck about Judd Nelson as Hot Rod, who got Optimus Prime killed. I don't care about a bunch of assholes listening to Dare to Be Stupid. I like the music, the score, and the soundtrack, other than Dare to Be Stupid. Why is that in a Transformers movie back in the day? Dare to be stupid, dare to be stupid. I like the animation of that movie. I like the other music in the Vince DiCola score, but I don't like that movie. Anyway. Again, Transformers 1, I much prefer. Hell, put the soundtrack from the 80s movie in Transformers 1 and cut out some of T. Michael T's bullshit dialogue, and we got even more of a winner. Anyway, back to this. But I mean, I don't blame it because I know how it feels. Because the way he looks at Transformers, I look at Ninja Turtles. And you just see some of these movies that are written, like Mutant Mayhem, and when Michael Bay produced those 2 live-action Ninja Turtle films, he's like, this is the writing we have. In Mutant Mayhem, April was just barfing for 30 seconds. And the Turtles are just talking about bacon, egg, and cheese because it's some online meme or whatever the hell it was. You just kind of just... You have this give-up mentality. But I'm already 15 minutes in. I better get to this, or it probably will be a fucking hour long. So it came out 2017. Mark Wahlberg, Marky Mark and his Funky Bunch comes in because he was in the previous film. Age of Extinction, the 4th one, is one of those movies that when it got to, was it China? The action scene felt like it went on for 30 minutes. That's what it felt like. I don't know what it was time-wise, but that's what it felt like. I had to fast forward through some of the action in that movie. I don't think I ever reviewed that because I don't think that was ever a request. I don't think I ever did. course, if I did request it, I can't fast forward. But anyway, he comes back. I'm not a Mark Wahlberg fan. There are films he's in I can deal with that feature him, and there are films he's in that I liked the film overall. Patriots Day, Fear, The Big Hit, The Departed. I don't think he deserved an Oscar nomination for that. Boogie Nights. I mean, there are films he's in, The Italian Job, that I do like. But each time I see him, I go, really, him? Does it have to be him? And is he the worst actor ever? No, but I'm like, does he have to be, huh? Really? From The Happening? No, what? No. Can't be someone else. Can't it be Josh Duhamel, who you established in the first two? Why don't you have him as the lead? People are going to see this for the Transformers. Don't tell me, was that star power? People were not going to see those early Transformer films because of Shia LaBeouf. If they don't see this film, well, they didn't see this film anyway. But the last one, Age of Extinction, they didn't go see it because of Mark Wahlberg. They went to see it because of Transformers. So just push Josh Duhamel as the lead. You establish his character. He's risen up. He has a closer connection. And you to build up his character more since he barely had shit to do. I keep mentioning him because he's in this movie. And once again is given nothing to do. Because he was in the fourth film. But he's back in this one. It's cool to see him because I like him as an actor. But wasted. Again, why you just have him as the lead from the fourth, or even the lead in this one? But hey, there's a lot of things to say about this. So, Mark Wahlberg is the star. You also have Anthony Hopkins. He's in the film. John Turturro comes back from the previous films. He's in little bits. Stanley Tucci's in it as Merlin. Yes, Merlin the Magician. Let's get into that part. I mean, to really get into this. The opening of the film is they are in the medieval ages. Merlin is a drunk played by Stanley Tucci, who I've liked in other films. Even The Core, liked that movie and him in it. Is it a smart movie? No, but I thought it was a fun movie, unlike this. I'm sitting there going, I'm watching a Transformer film, and we got Merlin the Magician. I know magician, but Merlin the Magician. We got Teen Arthur. We got people getting stabbed and on fire with fireballs and pipes shoved up their ass and horses doing a 360 like they're Evel Knievel horses. In a Transformers movie? So Merlin the Magician tosses Transformer, and Transformer gives him a staff that he probably had stuck up his ass. And Merlin's able to call up a 3-headed dragon, so he called up King fucking Ghidorah, Transformer style, to go take care of their enemies. And I did not look this up, I would love for someone to try to do a video showing the continuity of these films in terms of the history. Because they keep making it up as they go along, and it makes even less and less and less sense. Because in the first one, it seemed like the Transformers were never on Earth, but something about these glasses and other shit, and we just need this tube. But then the second one, no, it's this Matrix of Leadership. Then what? I don't even remember the third film what it was, and the fourth film I don't remember what the fuck it was. But it's always a something. And then now this one, it's there's this Cybertron, this female robot, which I don't even know if she was in the previous films mentioned at all, named Quintessa. For those who are into Transformers, you don't have to educate me. Is Quintessa someone from this stuff? Or And was she ever mentioned in the other movies? I don't think so. Just maybe it's something they just pulled out of a cartoon or something. And it's like, well, okay. Be nice to have, have stuff not feel like it's out of their ass, out of the blue. So modern day, Transformers are found to be illegal. Great, they're illegal aliens. Like, literally. Because they're called illegal, and this human task force is sent to eliminate. Which I know was stuff they were doing in the previous... I always thought that was the dumbest fucking shit they put into that. Well, no. One of the 50 dumbest shit that they put into these things is that the humans are so stupid. Well, granted, some of them are stupid, let's be fair. So maybe that's the most realistic thing. Maybe I should take that back. But still, as a movie, as escapism, as entertainment, that none of it's supposed to make sense anyway, so might as well... The Autobots who have helped you all the time, that has saved Earth all of these times, maybe have them on your side, but instead you're trying to eliminate them and such. And for what? These things are still dropping from the sky. You literally say they keep dropping from the sky, so if you get rid of the Autobots, you do this, then who the fuck's going to help you and protect you from these things that keep falling from the sky? You idiots. And that's the thing with these movies, is that Transformers will appear, then disappear, then appear, then disappear. Same with characters. And if you look into this, you just say, why are you doing it? But I'm saying, when you look at other franchises, as goofy as they may be, not all of them, but some of them have a decent continuity sake. Especially if they keep it simple with the formula. Lethal Weapon. Lethal Weapon 2, Leo Dietz. Lethal Weapon 3, Leo Dietz still knows them, and they meet Rene Russo. Lethal Weapon 4, Mel Gibson is married to Rene Russo. They don't have a baby. Leo Dietz is their friend, and now Chris Rock is in it, and they're a big family. There's a progression. He's ready to end his life, and now has given new life with this woman, and new life has been born. He's got his new family now. And the first film before it, he had a loved one. She was killed. So as is nice. By the way, no Lethal Weapon 5, please. Don't need it. Sorry, Mel Gibson. Just let it go. Even Beverly Hills Cop Axel F that came out a year or so ago. There's Judge Reinhold. There's John Ashton. Rest in peace. Even the films are referenced. Oh, I read your file and saying the years. That's more continuity than this fucking film does with stuff. Because you're sitting there going, okay, when all this shit's happening, where's Shia LaBeouf's character? You see a picture of him, that's it. Yes, Shia was not going to be back, but it's still like, you're thinking in your head, for a guy that was so important, that was so part of the regime of the first three movies, and has such, you think someone that had such a close bond with Bumblebee, and Bumblebee, I protect you to the end of time. Not anymore though, because fuck off. I guess. Now I'm with Marky Mark. You said, well, you see how that doesn't really flow? And there's 100 things like that. Mudflap and Skids are shitty characters of Revenge of the Fallen. Well, fine, then put them in the movie and you kill them off. Or you say they've been killed off. Or, like, RC. That was in the second film. What happened to RC, the lady, what happened to them? What happened to this one? What happened to that one? What happened to this one? And then half the time you can't tell who the fuck is who, so if someone dies you can't even remember, or literally have to keep a damn flow sheet of which Autobot is which and what happened to them and did they die here or okay, someone died. I don't know who the fuck died. I have to keep like a damn cheat sheet. Because now here, they're the Autobots, the few that are left, which is Bumblebee, Ken Watanabe, Samurai Autobot, this green one, which I don't even know if he was in the previous one, because I don't remember Age of Extinction at all, honestly. There was John Goodman. I know he was in the previous one. Steve Buscemi pops in as a... like, has a bunch of junk, drops it, then leaves. There's some Autobot in, like, Cuba or something with John Turturro who likes to play, like, I don't know, soccer or something? I don't know what the hell was up with that Autobot. I don't even know who the hell that Autobot is. I'd have to look it up. I don't even know what his name was, what he did anything, why he's not trying to help, why he's not trying to save the world or anything. Don't know. Are those other Autobots dead? Or are they just shacking somewhere, fucking each other's lube job, lud nuts off? I don't know. That's the thing, like, it's just... what the fuck? I don't know, just... And Mark Wahlberg is there in this junkyard. Before we get to that... because when I said this movie's ADD the movie, it literally is. It goes from what we saw with the medieval times. Then it's, here are these kids. And they go into, I think it's the remains of Chicago from the third movie, I believe. But then there's this girl who's with this little robot named Squeaks. And this other robot, Autobot, which I don't know what the fuck his name was. I don't know if we ever even saw him before. And then the humans shoot him because they're dumb fucks. Yeah, shoot an ally makes a lot of sense. And then she just tells the kids to get the fuck out. Then Mark Wahlberg comes in and then shoots some of the drones and stuff. Then the girl wants to go with him and he's like, fuck off. But then she still goes with him and then goes back to the junkyard. And that's where you see... we're introduced to Bumblebee before it. But then we'll go to, like, soldiers, and Josh Duhamel is one of the soldiers. He doesn't like what he's doing, but then he still goes along with it, and you would think, well, fuck, dude. Weren't you kind of doing this in the second film? When they're already introducing the fact of keeping the Autobots kind of imprisoned, and just him and Tyrese had, like, nothing to do in the second film? They're like on a battleship or navy. They're on a ship like for most of the damn film. But they'll go to Optimus Prime. He went to Cybertron and there's Quintessa and she brainwashes him. Kind of easily. Makes you wonder why the hell she didn't just go down and brainwash everybody. It was that goddamn easy. So it goes from like this junkyard to these things, and then also like at one point Megatron comes back, which I forgot he was. How the hell is he alive? Must be something in the fourth film, because I thought in the third one didn't he die? So I guess in the fourth one he came back, because I guess you can't ever kill Megatron. You know he was dead in the first fucking movie, and then they brought him back in the second movie. Then I thought he was dead in the third movie. But I don't even remember the third movie now I think about it. There you go. Now if you requested the third and fourth movie, who knows? And now I'm going all ADD, I'm going all over the place. This is what movie fucking feel. I don't know why I'm getting mad, it's only a movie, calm down. But god fucking damn, is it really that hard to do? Shit. Discombobulated. So what I'm talking about is you have this girl who has this little cute robot sidekick thing, Screech, and then you have the Mark Wahlberg junkyard, then you have the military working with Megatron. Something about when we work with Megatron and he'll tell us what's happening. I'm like, aren't there fucking Autobots you could ask to see what the fuck's going on? It makes no sense, and they tried to explain it, but it still makes no fucking sense why the humans are working with Megatron, the guy that has tried to kill the planet like 18 fucking times already. And then what is trying to be like the Suicide Squad, like, I need my team, and I want some fucking robot with a mohawk, and some other fucking robot who robs banks, but he doesn't rob banks because he just shoots the money. So he's not robbing the bank, so he's a dickhead troll. Maybe he's gonna post on YouTube. I don't fucking know. And then some other robot, Decepticon. Which I'm like, why are you even keeping them in prison? Why don't you just kill them? What's the point of keeping them in prison? Why don't you just kill them? But for some reason, I guess that was as a prison for Decepticons. Was that something that was introduced in the fourth film? I don't remember. A fucking prison for Decepticons? I guess so. And I still don't get why the humans are letting Megatron do this, and they didn't even really get any fucking answers. And then even the answers they probably could have gone with the Autobots who are already your fucking allies. Like Bumblebee and all these other people. Oh my god, man. And then in the midst of that bit in Chicago where Mark Wahlberg meets the little girl and her little robot, and they get these other kids out, and her bigger Autobot buddy dies. There's another Autobot that Marky Mark tries to help, but then the thing goes, here, take this talisman. And then Mark's like, no, you keep it. And I'm sitting there going, it's probably pretty fucking important as to why he wants you to take it. Do you think it's some kind of... Remember back in the day with trucks, you have the dice, the fuzzy dice, or you put Garfield in the back of your fucking car? I don't think he thinks it's that. It's not just a fucking memento. Anytime an Autobot gives you something, it's more than likely going to be important. You should know this, man. But he's like, nah, you keep it. You don't need it, he's dead. Because he quickly dies. But he just leaves it there. I'm like, oh, that's nice. The thing that it wanted you to take, you're like, nah, you keep it, and then you just keep it with his dead body. He's like, thanks for honoring his last request, asshole. Good job, Marky Mark, you dickhead. But then the theme moves itself, and then all of a sudden is in Mark Wahlberg's vehicle. It's a Talisman. It's just one of those things where it's... They go back to the junkyard. Some of the Dinobots are there, including Grimlock, the T-Rex. I don't know what happened to the other ones. There's like little tiny ones. And also the one that I thought sounded like Joe Pesci in the... I think it was the second one? Unless this was another one. But it looked like him. I think that was it. I don't fucking know. Anyway. Oh my god, man. He also introduced this lady, Wembley, who's this Oxford professor lady, playing Polo, and it's funny to see Michael Bay trying to make a big cinematic deal with Polo. I'm like, okay, do your best, dude. And then again, you get to Josh Duhamel having to talk to Megatron about, oh yeah, Megatron can lead us. I'm like, the Autobots couldn't do that? Who the fuck wrote this? Did they write it with crayon? Or they just write it like piss in the snow? one that leads to another, and they lead. They're like, I didn't understand this plan. The Decepticons, the humans know, including Josh Duhamel, that these Decepticons are going to go to Marty Mark and the facility. Why are the humans allowing the Decepticons to go and kill innocent Autobots and innocent people? Well, we're going to make them lead us to Marty Mark, and then we're going to get the weapon. I'm like, earlier in, there's a scene where the military and Josh Duhamel see Mark Wahlberg. And there's one bit I didn't mind where Bumblebee comes in, he breaks himself apart on purpose, and then each of his parts fight or shoot or grab or kick or the soldiers as he's putting himself back together. I'm like, okay, that's kind of neat, kind of different. I know it's grasping at straws, but I don't grasp them as hard as I would my dick. Actually, I like a soft numbers. And they put a tracker on Bumblebee's vehicle, so they could have followed them on their fucking own where this junkyard was. They didn't need Megatron to follow. They already had a fucking tracker on the thing. They had it on the thing already, on Bumblebee's ass. Bumblebee tuna. They could have followed. It's just to get another action scene in there. So the Decepticons, as well as the military, they're going after the Autobots. The Autobots and Mark Wahlberg and the girl and her little robot buddy Sweets and this other guy, Jimmy, I think it was his name. I recognize the actor who was actually in Neighbors. He was of the fraternity. He was the black guy. He's the one that got his dick stuck and they ripped it and there was a bunch of pubes and he's like, that was so much worse than I thought it would be. I think he did the best he could with what little he had. Because I thought some of his reactions were kind of funny. And again, I think he did the best he could. Again, going to grasp at straws, going as many as I can. And so then it'll go to, like I said, this action scene where the Decepticons follow them to this town where March set up these explosives and the Ken Watanabe and the other guy kill this one Decepticon, and Bumblebee shoots the Mohawk little annoying robot Decepticon. And then Megatron's like, we need to leave. And then it's like the movie kind of stops and goes, now we gotta go to a different movie. Where Anthony Hopkins is a guy who's part of the secret society that has known about Transformers for centuries. He has a robot butler who's a sociopath. Like sincerely does say he's a sociopath. And while these drones are attacking Mark Wahlberg and the other people, Mark Wahlberg almost dies and some go to the ground. The robot goes, come with me if you want to leave. No, a different movie. Leave your friends behind. So Mark and Bumblebee go with the psycho robot while this girl that they built up as if it was this big thing is just left behind until the end. I don't even know why she's in the movie. There's really no reason for her to be in the fucking film. Like, you could have written her character out and it would have made the film shorter, which would have been a good thing. Like, there was no point for her to be in the fucking film. But anyway. So then it's a movie about Mark and Bumblebee overseas in the UK with Anthony Hopkins and the psycho butler, and they grab the Wembley lady from Oxford. And, like, the humor is as shitty as the other films. a bunch of British women talked about advertisements in newspapers and what's a BBW? Oh, that's a vehicle. That's a car. No, it means big, beautiful woman. Oh, okay. Oh, this person has a dungeon. Yeah, that must be nice. Or, I don't know if I want to see Anthony Hopkins say, but you want to know, don't you, dude? Never thought I would hear Anthony Hopkins call someone dude. Or, what a bitchin' car she is. Or there's a chase scene where the robot butler's driving, Anthony Hopkins is in the passenger seat, and literally the robot is singing, "Move, bitch! Get out the way! Get out the way, bitch! Get out the way!" And I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? Move, bitch! Get out of my way! Hot Rod is in this, but for some reason he's French. Oh, apparently Bumblebee helped kill Hitler. There's a flashback where I guess Bumblebee was around during World War II, and you see them and soldiers attacking the Nazis. So, I mean, yeah, I'm assuming he killed Hitler as well. He was killing Nazis. And I guess Shia LaBeouf's family, their ancestry deals with Merlin. So I guess they're descendants of Merlin, the magician. Oh, and this talisman is now connected to Mark Wahlberg. So there's a point literally Optimus Prime is ready to get killed and Mark has to save him because the thing becomes Excalibur. And Mark Wahlberg, who's about this tall to these guys, is able to use the sword and stop it. I mean, you think the whole weight would be like, but no, apparently, I guess the sword also stops that too. Because that's how swords work, I guess. I guess, magical swords, I guess that's how it works. And the humor, like Anthony Hopkins trying to give this big speech, and then the butler Codman is like playing the piano or singing opera, and Anthony Hopkins is like, you keep doing that, I'm going to send you to blah 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 blah. What the fuck is this shit that I'm watching? Is what I'm asking. And then they get to the submarine, and then something under Stonehenge. And then the staff is going to bring Cybertron and the planets together, which wasn't that a plot in the third movie of bringing the planets together? Or the fourth, I swear, or something. I don't know. I thought that was a plan. I don't fucking know. Anthony Hopkins dies, and no one notices other than the butler robot. And the last line for him is after Anthony Hopkins dies, he says, "Of all the people I knew, you were by far the coolest." It seems like this film wants to have 85 fucking ideas intact with it, with the Autobots being illegal and hunted down and ostracized. Bumblebee wanting to be a leader, because sometimes an Autobot will say, "You'll never be Optimus Prime," and then later on, because Optimus Prime's brainwashed, Bumblebee has to fight him. To Mark Wahlberg and not be able to see his daughter. To this whole thing with this little girl and her squeak robot, who gets a moment during the final battle to sneak by. I think the robot says "fuck you," but they hide it. "Woo you," like with sound effects. But the idea was to say "fuck" because it's a little robot but has a big ass gun. That's the only reason that thing's there, I guess. Well, and to sell merchandise, of course. And then Hopkins and the butler and Stonehenge and the staff and what's that? The staff of Ra? What's that? Imhotep? what's next? The Ninja fucking Turtles, the G.I. Joe, and the Kool-Aid Man gonna pop up? Jesus Christ. It's such nonsensical horseshit, and it's not fun. The action scenes went on forever. Sometimes I couldn't understand what the fuck was going on. The CGI was on overload. I was surprised the Squeak robot, that was mostly practical. I was surprised by that. But there's a lot of CGI. And maybe that's not the... There are action scenes I can enjoy that have that in it, but that's... If you look at my favorite action films of all time, Aliens, Die Hard, Predator 1 and 2, the first 3 Rambo films, CGI overload isn't really the case for those type of movies. So... And then when Bumblebee is fighting Optimus, there's like this running thing of Bumblebee can't find his voice. They try to fix it, and then it's a female voice, and damn, it's not my voice, so he rips it out. But then when Optimus Prime is ready to kill him, now all of a sudden Bumblebee finds his voice. Why? How? I probably fucked up. Clean my glasses. I was so dead pissed. I don't know. If you want to talk about lazy, that is one of the laziest things. Like, nope, all of a sudden his voice is fixed. Now, again, why? I don't know. Is that like the joke of something doesn't work, you kick it, and then it starts working again? Is that what that is? It's the power of love. Power of love fixed it. Maybe Optimus and Bumblebee will be lovers. And they'll fuck just like those dolls fucked in Revenge of the Fallen. There you go. Transpooners. Do you have new meaning to the word trans? I don't fucking know, man. Well, I do know. This movie sucks. But the grown-ass people write this bullshit, film this bullshit, spends hundreds of millions of dollars on this bullshit, and then you're surprised that it's bullshit. And it flops. Optimus Prime, man. Peter Cullen, I know he's a trooper. They don't really... I mean, he just does his job, and he's barely in this film. He pops in, 20-some minutes in or so. He's at Cybertron, and he gets brainwashed. Then you see him, once or twice, and then near the third act, he comes in to get the staff. Bumblebee fights him, and then all of a sudden, again, finds his voice. Optimus Prime breaks out of his brainwashing. Marky Mark has to save him, which is sad that Optimus Prime has to be saved by Marky Mark and his fucking Funky Bunch sword that happens to be Excalibur now. And then Cybertron and Earth are merging, and they get up there, and there's all these other robots flying at them, and they're flying towards them, and then Optimus is flying the dragon, and fucking lands, and kills a couple. Josh Duhamel, man, given nothing to do, but, I mean, it's not like he's in it for just 5 minutes. He's in it throughout the film, but he's just given nothing to do, nothing noteworthy. Just such a fucking waste. I guess Tyrese was busy with Fast and Furious, so that's why he's not in this. Although there is a guy that's within the group that is black, so I wonder if they put him in there to try to be the non-Tyrese. You know. You're the black soldier, you're just not Tyrese. And the whole finale, it was such just a clusterfuck. It was, this is here, this is there. I can't remember a damn thing Ken Watanabe or John Goodman or all those Autobots did. I didn't. Where are the Autobots from the other films? Are they dead? Or there's something else going on? Why is that again? Shia LaBeouf. You think his family character would be this be important? I just grant you to say what could they do? Liaison to the Autobots in the beginning of the movie, but it's just a clusterfuck that I didn't care what was happening. I didn't care what was going on. I didn't care what the end result would be, other than I'm hoping the credits start soon. Bumblebee and Optimus Prime tag team on Quintessa, not the tag team we all want to do. Well, not to her, because I'm not into cars. But, maybe Autobots are into. Who knows? You never know. I don't want to know, but you never know. But the more violent tag team, game bang style. Megatron, like they fight a little bit, and then Optimus just kicks him through a fucking hole, and then Megatron just flies off. Did Starscream die in the previous film? Again, I don't remember the third or fourth film like at all, especially the fourth one. Because you see Starscream's head. That's one of the things Steve Buscemi has. Which after that one scene, he never pops back in the film again. Of course, he knows Michael Bay because he was in Armageddon and The Island, among other stuff with Michael Bay. It's like you got all these Autobots and they're not doing much of shit, and then these humans, and of course it goes out old diatribe, why do we need humans to be the lead in these movies? Why can't the Autobots lead the movies? Transformers 1 as a film showed that you could do that. But, I mean, you got to put the blame on Steven Spielberg. Because the first film, Spielberg is the one who said, it's got to be about a boy in his car. I'm sure he was the boss in the first one and said, you got to have the human perspective, you got to have the human, like E.T. I'm sure he referenced E.T. Is the movie E.T. all from E.T.'s perspective? I'm like, some of it is. When he gets lost and gets drunk, but it's, again, the humans are the stars, they're more important. It's like, no, because humans talking on screen is a lot less expensive than CGI talking on screen. That is why. So if it's a full animated film, then it makes it easier for people to use and spend that. Because with animation, depending on what kind it is, you don't have to make it photorealistic, which takes more time with CGI. And I mean, the thing is, like, Michael Bay is able to accomplish some solid pieces of action filmmaking. I like The Rock, the movie. Bad Boys 1 and 2, I think, are a lot of fun. The Island, I think The Island is a bit underrated. I liked Six Underground. I know I'm alone in that, but I thought Six Underground was a lot of, dumb fun. So it's not that I hate Michael Bay, but I hate the shit he does with these fucking movies, man. He does not give a shit about characters and writing, and the humor is all over the place. And again, it's like a kid who's at a candy store, and the the dad says pick out one candy, so he goes to this and this and this and this and this, and he can't choose where he wants to stay and what he wants to pick out, so he's looking at every fucking thing. Or hell, a kid, better they pick up a video game, or let's go rent a movie. With this one, how about this one? This one, no, how about this one? I'll do this one. And it ends with, everything's saving the day. Earth and Cybertron are now connected to each other. How that works, because you think... I'm not even going to get into logistics in that, because they didn't, so why am I going to? Oh, and they set up a sequel. Apparently Quintessa is still alive, but she looks like a human. And then she said, we're going to kill Unicron because I guess Earth is Unicron. At least that's how they stated it. I'm like, really? Earth is Unicron? Really? Maybe I misheard it. Maybe I misread it. Maybe I read the room wrong. But I swear it was so dumbfounding that I'm like, really? To repeat, I can't believe it was almost a fucking hour long. I was afraid of that, but oh well. I just looked at the time. This is the worst Transformers film I've seen. If you liked Optimus Prime, you're screwed because he's barely in the fucking film. Except that you're brainwashed, have a little fight with Bumblebee. Martha, why do you say that name? Might be that because it's just as fucking stupid. Then might as well be called Martha. Then he has a little fighting at the end. And I'm tired of him saying, I'm Optimus Prime. You know who I am? I'm Optimus Prime. I know your fucking name. Is that the only thing you got Peter Cullen to say? Optimus Prime 18 fucking times? I'm Optimus Prime. Do you know who I am? I'm Optimus Prime. I don't know. You want to say that again? I'm Optimus Prime. I know who the fuck you are. I think people know who the fuck you are. Give him some better fucking dialogue to say. You dick-licking, butt-fucking, pain-in-the-ass writers. Not giving them leeway, because people gave them leeway, and that's how they did Men in Black International, and Uncharted, and Kraven the Hunter. Pieces of shit. Piles of shit. I fingerprinted my goddamn glasses again. So I fixed the fucking thing again. So I was trying to fix it, and it just... God damn it. Fuck this movie. Piece of shit. So yeah, if you like Optimus Prime, he was barely in the goddamn thing. I guess if you're a Mark Wahlberg diehard fan, maybe, but I'm not. So the less of him, so I'm not a fan of him. I'm sorry, I'm not a fan of him. Again, there's movies he's in that I like, but I'm not a fan of his. Overexposed, just it's like, god damn, he's in this movie too. Josh Duhamel, completely wasted. Autobots barely have much of jack shit of anything to say about them. The designs, I already saw the designs of the Autobots Decepticons were ugly as hell in this. In pretty much all the live action films. Except maybe Bumblebee. There the designs seemed a lot better. Over long. It's fucking 2.5 hours long. You did not need that goddamn robot butler who was annoying as shit being a sociopath. Why make Hot Rod French? Why have the women talk about BBWs? Why put that Bumblebee fought Nazis and film a flashback of it? Why a three-headed dragon? Why Stonehenge? Why did Megatron to have his mini Suicide Squad group that the humans are helping? Because Megatron will lead us. The Autobots will! They're fucking there! You know where they're at! Did you put a tracker on Bumblebee? You stupid fucks! I hate this fucking movie, man. It was so much of a chore to fucking sit through. No wonder I never saw this until now. Thanks to Jonathan for a generous paid request. I hope you're enjoying, Jonathan. I hope you like the review. But fuck this goddamn movie. I spent an hour, god damn it. I'm tired talking about it. This piece of shit. Fuck these writers. Fuck you, Michael Bay, for making this bullshit too. Stick to Bad Boys 1 and 2. You know what? If he came back for a Bad Boys movie, then I'd be curious, even though Will Smith is still a simp. But I hate to say it, although I do think it's a good film, maybe Transformers 1 bombing is a good thing. Just take a fucking break for a long time with Transformers, man. And learn from your mistakes, man. With these live action films. Calm down on the humor. Don't have 85 fucking ideas. Fight for dominance. Don't think the audience needs ADD fuel to keep up. God damn it. So we'll see you guys later. Ciao.